So we are getting Rio Blast, right? Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. So guys, some big questions are happening about tomorrow's launch for Rio Blast. Earlier last week, they actually announced that Rio Blast would be put up for sale on the launch calendar for Mattel Creations, and our good friends over at Toy Habits did a deep dive into that, and I wanted to take a look at what they had in store, as we really don't have any details on this other than the release date itself. No pricing information, no nothing. So I wanted to take a deep dive and see exactly what Toy Habits had dug up, because they are a wonderful resource for toy news all year round. You should give them a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. Well, guys, without further ado, let's take a look at what Toy Habits had to say about the Rio Blast pre-order details. Let's have a look. I want to give a huge shout out to our good friends over at ToyHabits.com, who have just been on the ball lately in 2025. Story after story after story of new toys coming out and new possibilities for toys, and it's really getting crazy. And to navigate that, you really have to head over to ToyHabits.com, give them a like and a follow, and tell them Jay sent you. Earlier last month, they reported on the Rio Blast situation, as there was a listing on MattelCreations.com that Rio Blast will be put up for order this coming Monday, January 6th. That's right, guys, tomorrow. And I wanted to take a deep dive into this because as we go over to MattelCreations.com, yes, indeed, there is the calendar listing the Monday, January 6th on sale at 9 a.m. Pacific time. You don't want to sleep on this, guys, because Rio Blast, Origins Rio Blast, for a pretty good price, at least we can see here, is going to be on sale starting at 9 a.m. Pacific time. There's just one problem. Heading over to the front of Mattel Creations, hitting refresh, and we do see the Spellbinding set for Wicked, the Embracing the Magic for Monster High Witches. We see that awesome Little People's Voltron Collectors 40th Anniversary set. We even do see some MOTU on the front cover with the Evil Eternia Oversized Horde Trooper, High Octane Thrills, Micro Macabre. We even see some G.I. Joe on Mattel Creations. We reported about that earlier. Squid Games, Raw, that brand new ring, and even some Hot Wheels, but we get to the bottom, and there's nothing here. We don't see anything. Clicking on MOTU Collectors, yeah, the latest thing we see is actually Geldor, along with the Horde Trooper, and not much else. I mean, let's click on New Rivals, let's see if anything's gonna pop up. But right now, we see nothing. Nothing on Rio Blast. So I just wanted to give people a heads up and remind everybody that Rio Blast is scheduled for Monday, January 6th, which is tomorrow. And not to forget about this, because as highlighted by our good friends over at ToyHabits.com, it is supposed to happen, and we are supposed to be able to pre-order this tomorrow. So while we're here, we might as well take a look at some of the photos that Toy Habits took at San Diego Comic-Con. I was able to also see this at San Diego Comic-Con. I was hugely excited when they came out on stage and announced that Rio Blast was coming. And honestly, let's take a closer look at this and see exactly what we might be getting tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Let's have a look, everybody. And there he is, everybody. This was actually the Mattel Creations display at San Diego Comic-Con, and this glorious mustached man was there, and he looked freaking awesome. We can see him here fully deployed with all of his armaments, his radarscope at the top with multiple cannons, the chest cannon folding right out of his chest plate, firing at will. We see his side arms fully loaded up with what appears to be cables which supply the actual blasters themselves. And further down, we do see those signature upper thigh guns, which are just blasting away. And of course, the man is a freaking cowboy in space. I mean, look at those. He's got the big, huge boots. He's got those bell-bottom pants. He's got an entire belt, which looks like it's made of freaking bullets. And of course, he wears this crazy-looking outfit, which of course makes him look as if he came straight out of the Wild West. This is Rio Blast, everybody. And he looks absolutely epic. I mean, huge shout out to Michael who took these photos. Take a look at those details. We can see that on the inner parts of his upper thighs, recesses. You can see even some technology in there. So is he cybernetic? Is that actually what allows Rio Blast to be the way he is? That is an awesome question. Even his chest cavity is absolutely caved in. I mean, he's kind of like the Tony Stark of the MOTU universe. This is absolutely nuts. Looking at this more side profile here, we can see that huge attachment on top of his head. Very similar to the way it looked in the original action figure from the 80s. And this thing is huge. It literally has a scope in the front where he can use the reticle to actually aim at his targets. It has these gigantic cannons on the left and right, and even smaller cannons right beside the side of his head. Man, when those things fire off, he must go deaf. This is absolutely nuts. And then we move down further, we can even see some of the detailing on his chest. The uniform he's wearing, he's got those tassels. If you look closely at his chest itself, before it actually deploys, he has a sheriff's star, which is freaking awesome. And of course, we do have those additional blasters on the left and right of his hands. Bang, 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 bang. It's like a quick draw kind of motion. I love it. It's amazing. There we get a glimpse of Rio Blast's face. He's got that porn stash look. Guys like, Tom Selleck and all those amazing figures from the past. I love it, guys. This is awesome. A little bit more detail in the reticles itself. You really can see the crosshairs that are there. And again, those wonderful guns. This is going to be an amazing character. I love the blue eyes. And of course, he looks so stunning as a marshal of the universe. I love it. Taking a little bit closer look at the inner cavity of his chest, you can see all that wonderful detail in there. And again, very technological in its overall appearance. I really am wondering if he's some sort of cyborg. This is going to be great. That front-mounted cannon looks amazing and very reminiscent of the original toy from back in the day. Rio Blast, of course, was one of the final figures released in the line, and here we have mint on card, Rio Blast, heroic transforming gunslinger, pull back blaster pack over the head into firing position, pop out hidden weapons from his chest, arms, and legs. He looks freaking awesome. And there we get a better look at what's supposed to be the front of his chest. He does have that lapel, which actually folds over. You can see some of the technological circuitry, which is right on his chest himself. I do believe he is some sort of cyborg. And there it is. There is the Marshal's star that he wears proudly. And I'm really wondering if there's an area in Eternia that's very much inspired by Texas or, some sort of cowboy type of nature. It looks freaking amazing. He's got those stirrups. He's got everything. And those freaking chaps. He looks awesome. Of course, this is the vintage version, and really, he looked like a really cool character. And this idea would eventually evolve into something else, maybe, or possibly might introduce us to another set of Mattel's figures in the future. We can only hope and dream, everybody. But it's awesome to see that Rio Blast is actually looking very similar to the way he did in the vintage version. I think this is going to be great. It should be noted that there are no reticles inside of the targeting system, so that's interesting to see. Rio Blast does look amazing here, and of course, huge shout out to the Toy Sorceress for letting us have a look at this. Apparently, he was introduced in the Master Universe in 1986, almost at the end of the line for the most part. The first mini-comic he appeared in was The Fastest Draw in the universe, which portrayed him as an old friend of He-Man's who added Western stereotype values, particularly keen on cooking chili. He made a few cameo appearances in the Star comics, and apparently had a not-so-friendly rivalry with Snoutspout, which is interesting because, if you guys will remember, in Master Universe Revolution, which I believe is the first time we ever see Rio Blast on screen, he really is a very huge help for He-Man and the Master Universe, taking on the forces of Scareglow, being present at the funeral of Randor, spoilers ahead, and even having been possessed. He makes actually a bunch of appearances in the series, and again, he shows up guns a-blazing, and even does show opposite of Snoutspout, who apparently was his rival in the comic books. It really is great to see this character come full force, and now getting a chance to pick him up once again in Master Universe Origins. And it's been a long time coming, obviously, as we have seen Rio Blast teased on multiple artworks, including this one, which was provided by Manuel Eduardo Caritas, Roy Juarez on Instagram. We can see here that Rio Blast and Extendar are taking on the Vile Squeeze. And boy, do they have their hands full. His overall design really has been one of those fan favorites by many Master Universe fans. And of course, he has been compared to another Mattel property, which is very cowboy-inspired. I mean, guys, can't you just see Marshal Bravestar and Rio Blast joining forces? As a matter of fact, in the Filmation series, somebody shows up in the series who strangely has an appearance which could sort of look like, or be mistaken for, a Rio Blast type character. I mean, seriously, this little scene right here, doesn't that look like a really young Rio Blast? I think that Rio Blast in the Marshal Bravestar universe is definitely not out of the realm. I mean, come on, we're talking about cowboys in freaking space, and doesn't that vest, along with that star, look eerily familiar? Seriously, I think that if Rio Blast and Bravestar join forces, it would be a match in New Texas heaven. And of course, there are a lot of fans who are getting into it too. Boy Toys 528 actually did make a Master Universe Classics Edition version of the Marshall Bravestar, and I'm wondering what his take on Rio Blast would have been, because I think it would have been absolutely gorgeous. Just like the work he's done here on Bravestar. Look at that freaking animation accurate version of Bravestar. It really is killing it. And it remains to be seen if tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time we'll be able to put down our money for Rio Blast. I'll be counting down the hours as it happens, and hopefully sometime early tomorrow morning we'll be able to find out exactly when Rio Blast will be available for pre-order. Checking on the site right now just in case, but so far the countdown for Rio Blast has not yet begun. Guys, don't sleep on this one. This one's really going to be important, as you do not want to miss out on picking up a Rio Blast of your very own. Get up early, 9 a.m. Pacific time, set your alarm clocks, because Rio Blast should, and I do mean should, be available for pre-order starting 9 a.m. Pacific on MattelCreations.com. I want to give another huge shout out to our good friends over at Toy Habits. Guys, definitely give Toy Habits a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. They have been covering this ever since the beginning, and you guys should definitely check out all the toy news they have. They're talking about crazy things in the works, including a possible MOTU Transformers crossover. That's absolutely crazy, guys. Huge shout out to Toy Habits once again. Guys, Rio Blast is on the way. Mark your calendars down, because it's going to be a war. Because I fully expect this to be a war to pick up the fastest draw in the universe. Guys, I got to tell you, I'm kind of perplexed right here. I don't know if it's actually going to happen tomorrow. According to the calendar, it's supposed to happen tomorrow. But right now we have no indication that there's anything actually happening tomorrow. There's no countdown, which usually happens around, a day or so prior to the actual sale. There's no indication from Mattel proper, from, their social media or anything like that, that Rio Blast is actually going to go on sale tomorrow. So just in case, I wanted to make this video and let everybody know, get ready. Just be ready, just in case, because you never know, it actually might happen. It should be going on sale at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so just get your alarm clock ready, because honestly, it's only a few hours away, so you don't want to be missing out on that, and best of luck to everybody who's trying to get their hands on Rio Blast. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. Are you kind of confused as I am whether or not Rio Blast is actually going to go on sale tomorrow? Are you going to be putting down your hard-earned cash to pick up a Rio Blast for your very own? Or is Rio Blast just way out there? You have no idea who this character is, and you actually might think that this will work better in Bravestar than it would in Master Universe. Let me know those comments in the comment section below, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. And if you're in the position to help the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon page. It's MegaJ Retro on Patreon. Guys, the patrons and channel members of this channel help me make wonderful episodes every single week, and I couldn't do without them. They are the best. Thank you so much for your support, everybody. It really means the world to me. Guys, Toy News continues to go forward in 2025. Happy New Year to everybody. And of course, I did a deep dive of the new Thundercats Cat's Lair, courtesy of our friends over at ToyHabits.com. You can check out that video right here. I hope you guys are all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Good journey. Geek proud, everybody.